Alright guys, today is the day. We are putting together the Avid CNC machine. We've sort of hinted at this in the last several videos, and we've been putting this off for quite a while because we just haven't had space. So if you missed last week's video, you will have seen, you will have missed that we bought a shipping container, which solved our space issue, which allows us to finally put together our 5x5 Avid CNC. This unit is going to have a monstrous 8.7 horsepower spindle on it. So we're very excited to have this thing, and we're just getting ready to get started. So we've laid out all of our parts and pieces here. I have all of our tools set up. I have the documentation pulled up on the computer. So now all that's left to do is put on some tunes and get to work.
Go ahead and pull up the spindle, just
okay.
Like,
you have a little teaser.
Just because it's so big.
This is what's to come. This is the spindle that this entire machine will be driving, which is just insane. So yeah, let's get some tunes going and let's get to building. Okay, it is now the next day. Yesterday we got basically the entire frame put together, and we're on to electronics today, starting off with these gigantic stepper motors. Like, it's the biggest stepper motor I've ever seen. This is what is actually going to be driving it. There's one on each side, and then there's one that goes up here, and then another one that moves the spindle up and down, so left, right, forward, back. But I actually just misplaced a screw, so I can't put this one on yet. I have to go buy another screw because somehow or another I don't know what I did. I just lost a screw. Anyway, now this is technically in the wrong orientation or the wrong step, but we're adding the gigantic Z-axis, which is what is going to hold our massive spindle. But I wanted to bring y'all in just so you can see this in more detail and kind of understand what I'm doing here, but also just so that you could appreciate the level of complexity and engineering that has gone into this. It is quite incredible. This is kind of with the cover off of it, so you really get to see the internals. You have these linear bearings here on these linear guide rails, which is the same thing that's used on the side, but it's all tucked in here nicely with a lead screw right here. I mean, it's just such a pretty piece of machined aluminum and just technology. So I'm about to screw this very heavy thing on.
AKA Dylan's geeking out.
Yes, I've been geeking out. So, you know, a lot of people, their number one fear of buying any machine like these, especially the Avid one that you have to put together, is like, is the process horrible? And for me, or at least someone like me who enjoys like tinkering and putting stuff together, this has been a lot of fun. There hasn't been a single time that's been frustrating, which is really all that matters. So we're about, I'm gonna say 8 hours in, but I'll give you the exact number. I'm kind of keeping track. I'll give you the exact number for how long it takes to put it together. But I'm gonna throw this on and then we're gonna get back into it. Oh, this might be a two-personer. Get my forearm strength going. Come on. Ugh. No problem. This whole thing just looks so awesome. Like, it's not just like what it can do. It just looks really cool.
It looks like it's never, ever, ever gonna fall apart.
This thing is...
It's solid.
It's solid, solid. Honestly, it is hands down, without a doubt, well, at least it looks to be, like one of the most overbuilt, not over-engineered, but overbuilt pieces of equipment that we have, which is a really good thing. Because this is one of those deals that you don't want it to be flexing or moving around, because that did do something wrong. Because that obviously is not good for CNC stuff. I think I already messed up. Because that holds no lighting. What did I do? Or is there only supposed to be that many screws? I may or may not have put it on upside down. So it's a new day, and as you can see, the front of the machine looks a little different, and that's because I went ahead and added what's called a vertical workpiece kit. So basically what this is going to allow us to do is have pieces sort of be, instead of mounted this way, and you can cut the end of the board, which is really cool. And it's just going to open up some opportunities for us to do kind of cool things. So I went ahead and added this kit. It's literally just a couple more pieces, and you inset this back, and that's going to allow us to clamp. It does take up a little bit of your available space in order to, be able to use flat stock. But I think it's going to be really interesting. So went ahead and added that. I've also added all the cable tracks, which you can see there are all these plastic bits, and that's what all the cables are going to route through. And I'm getting ready to start doing that. So I've been sort of labeling all the cables so that as I pull them through, I know what they are on the other end. But the wiring so far has been actually the easiest part. I thought that was going to be maybe the more complex part, but so far that has been actually the easiest. So I'm going to get started pulling these wires through and getting them over here to where the two control boxes go. Alright guys, it is time to put this gigantic 8.7 horsepower spindle onto the machine, and actually that means that we're about 99% done with this because I've gotten basically all the wiring done at this point other than the spindle. So let's get it on.
You got it.
This is going to be a two-personer. Well guys, she is fully assembled and she's ready to take for a little test spin. I could lie to you and say that this is the first time I'm trying it, but it's not. I tried it really late last night and it did work. So check it out. Well, look at that. Is that not the most satisfying thing? Let's go up and down. I have this dust shoe on here, which I'll leave a link to in the description of where I got it, because these things are kind of hard to find for these machines. So that looks like that's going to work out really well. I'll show you the spindle turning on, which is rather intimidating and quite exciting. Ready? This is the minimum RPM. That's only 1,000 RPMs. That's the absolute minimum it can go to. I'm not going to go any higher right now. But I'm to the point where I'm starting the spoil board, and I've been going back and forth 1,000 different times. Honestly, the reason why this video has drug on for a while, but I just can't make my mind up on how exactly I want to do it. So I am going to put that in a second video, because I just got off the phone with Jay Bates, because I have to give credit, you know, where credit's due, because he's the one that had this great idea. But basically, I am now going to have to not fully take it apart, but I'm going to have to make a few changes that require moving a lot of the stuff in order to make this idea a reality. But you all will see that in the next video. I think it is going to be quite the improvement over what I had initially thought in my head. So thank you very much, Jay. That was a great idea. About to get to it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and this video, I know we didn't really do anything other than just sort of put it together, but this is a huge step in Woodbrew's business history, so I wanted to document it. This machine is going to enable us to do a lot of the things that we've always wanted to do on a much more realistic scale compared to what we've been able to do in the past. So we're very excited about it. So we will be putting this to the test in the next video once I get the spoil board sort of semi set up. But again, thank you guys so much for watching, and if you have any questions at all, I'll try to do my best to answer them. I am a fairly CNC newbie, so, you know, just learning on the fly.
This is basically like a new family member. Like, it's gonna be here forever.
This thing is dreams come true, you know?
Just keep dreaming.
Just keep dreaming. They do come true.
Oh my god.
We need a name.
A name.
We need a name.
Okay.
We need a name for her.
We'll think on that.
Comment down below.
Alright, let's go before things just get weird.